I have an interesting relationship with WandaVision. When it started with its first 3 episodes, I liked it but wasn't crazy about it. Then the middle 3 episodes were amazing. I thought it was the best show ever. It was really well made, and it was ripe with potential. And then the last 3 episodes just went right in the toilet. Episode 7 felt like a checklist for me. Episode 8 had its moments, but kind of just shoved the last episode to the side. And episode 9 just really dropped the ball, being pretty unsatisfying and not properly concluding story arcs for many of the characters. Believe it or not, there is actually a pretty big amount of evidence that WandaVision was supposed to be 10 episodes long, but was cut back an episode because of COVID-19 pushing back filming and deadlines having to be met. Listings have been found for an episode 10. Originally, the first 3 episodes would have premiered and not 2, so 10 would have fit the same amount of time, and Matt Shackman said in an interview that a whole big subplot for the last episode with Monica, Darcy, Ralph, and the twins investigating Agatha's stronghold to steal the Darkhold and would have revealed Senor Scratchy to be a demon was completely cut. Seemingly, it's less like the last episode would have been longer and more that the finale would have been 2 parts. Presumably due to deadlines, they had to scrap it all in editing, though maybe they even had more things to film that they never had time to. That would explain why a bunch of stuff is either glossed over or unresolved in the finale, and why the last episode reads less like one episode and more like the A-plots of 2 episodes edited together. So clearly there were behind the scenes issues, but nonetheless, in this video I'm going to be talking about stuff that shows that Marvel made a big mistake with this show in not recognizing its audience. The first thing to mention is the sitcom format. I expected the response to the first few episodes of WandaVision to be worse than it was, but there was still a section of the Marvel fandom that was really annoyed by the fact that the first 3 episodes contained not only no action, but also very little to do with the actual story of the show. Basically, the first 3 episodes were just sitcom episodes, and while personally I enjoyed these episodes, I completely understand that a lot of fans didn't because it wasn't Marvel. This example isn't really part of my main point, it's more just a way of showing you what I mean when I talk about Marvel not connecting with its audience. Clearly, the thing I'm talking about most here is Quicksilver. Now, here's the thing with WandaVision. It was the first piece of MCU content that was as serialized as it is that came out week to week. The Marvel community is inherently very speculative. They always have been. Saying, wow, the Marvel fans got more carried away than usual with WandaVision theories isn't really true. It doesn't matter if it's Thor: The Dark World or Avengers Endgame. If it had been a series stretched out over 9 weeks, I'm pretty sure it would have been almost the same. With that being said though, WandaVision wasn't developed to be the first MCU Disney Plus show. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier was supposed to come before it, and so far the Falcon and the Winter Soldier has less theory potential than WandaVision. So I feel like things would have gotten as quite out of hand if Falcon came out before WandaVision and kind of tempered the chocolate, so to speak. A lot of people were disappointed in the finale of WandaVision for not living up to expectations. But at the same time, WandaVision wasn't supposed to be this big epic thing. It was supposed to be a character story between Falcon and Loki. And when people say that the theorizing of WandaVision led people to create expectations for WandaVision that were too high, they're not wrong. The one thing I give the exception to is Pietro. Doing a fake-out Quicksilver was a horrible idea on Marvel's part. You can try to defend it all you want, but can you really say that Marvel was justified in thinking that they could have Evan Peters come back in a show that's supposed to be followed up with a movie called Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and expect fans not to assume that he's the Fox Quicksilver? Seriously, how do you do that? How can Marvel, which is usually so in touch with what the fans want, drop the ball so hard on this? The showrunner Jack Schaefer recently said in an interview that they modeled this twist off the Mandarin twist in Iron Man 3. Except I guess they forgot the part where everyone hated that twist. It was the same story. The trailer promised the Mandarin would be in Iron Man 3, fans got excited and expected for the Mandarin to be there, Marvel did a fake out, and everyone got upset. I thought Marvel had learned their lesson with the Mandarin last year when they announced Shang-Chi. When they said that the real Mandarin would be the villain of Shang-Chi, I took it as them saying, sorry about that, we get that the fans really wanted the real Mandarin, so here you go. But apparently not. Look, I really don't think I'd have to point this out to professional writers, directors, and producers. And I'm not by any stretch of the imagination saying I'm better than them. But fundamentally, in order for a twist to work, the reality has to be more interesting and satisfying than the original conclusion. This guy isn't a guy who just meets a kid who can talk to ghosts. He's been a ghost himself the whole time. Anakin Skywalker wasn't killed by Darth Vader. Anakin Skywalker became Darth Vader. These are all twists that make the situation better. Heck, while Captain Marvel wasn't really that great of a movie, it did this well. This group of Skrulls isn't evil, the Kree just made them out to be evil. Going, this guy isn't a world-conquering supervillain, he's an actor pretending to be that so a less interesting villain can work in the shadows. Or, he's not Quicksilver from an alternate universe, he's some guy that Agatha used her magic on to pretend to be Quicksilver, is not interesting. And don't tell me, well, there is a fan theory that he actually is Pietro, or it's been hinted he'll be revealed to be Pietro in a future movie, because that doesn't make sense, and it doesn't make this show any better. This is WandaVision, not Doctor Strange 1.5. A movie or show can't just leave things unexplained and just say, we'll explain it in another movie. Look, I could go on and on about how this show isn't really satisfying because it leaves all these different things for future movies, but that'd be more of a rant than this video already is, and I don't want to bore you with that. The point is, WandaVision didn't meet expectations because it didn't understand its audience, and I hope future Marvel movies and shows don't make the same mistakes. Don't forget to subscribe for daily videos on the franchises you love, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.